That's usually how we do it. Like, we usually, like, start recording right away. A lot of times people be like, yo, we rolling already? Be like, yeah, we rolling.
Makes sense. I mean, why not? Hell.
No, you were asking about the workflow?
Yeah, man. So you've been doing this for a while, and I know when we set this up months ago or whatever, you were doing them 2 a week. So
Was it 2 a week at that time?
I think it was.
Yeah, so we've done a bunch of 2 weeks, and I don't know if I'm still all the way used to them, because we did 1 a week for the longest, so doing 2 weeks sometimes felt overwhelming, but we're kind of getting used to it now. That's cool.
That's a lot of content to delve between, but I mean, kudos to you. Obviously, you've been doing your thing for a minute now.
Yeah, appreciate that, bro. It's been like what? We started in 2020.
Yeah.
So almost 5 years.
Time is flying.
We're doing about time is flying. It's like, it's funny looking back on like our older episodes, looking back is you see just through the guests that we had on, through what they had going on at the time, you can kind of see different like periods in the scene. You can kind of map those interviews or like to like the times that those interviews happened in. You know what I mean?
Seeing like the artists themselves.
The artists themselves, what was going on, like what we were talking about.
A lot has definitely
Bro,
happened.
I always be saying like literally like just how there's different eras of just the music scene and like in the world.
Yeah.
There's different eras of the underground Virginia scene.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
and it's like now, so the creators, even like yourself, like a lot of people we talk to, you see them going through the different eras and kind of still finding ways to reinvent themselves, ways to keep going and keep creating. And it's like, it's cool to see.
Oh, it's important, man. There were definitely creatives that were existing and, they had a community. But, when I was coming out of high school, it wasn't as obvious that this was something that could be done in this area. That there were, just this creative community that we've kind of developed. It didn't seem feasible to anyone around me, but it was just something that I was passionate enough about that I knew that there were some artists out there. And I think that once enough of us started to come together and make it make sense, the younger generations and even people that were our age that may not have necessarily participated, they felt like, yeah, I could do this too. And for the record, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I think that people feeding off of good energy and trying to do like, whether it's music or DJ or whatever it is, iron makes iron,
Iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron, so it's been cool to see, all the different eras and people that have transitioned to other stuff or people that have survived it all. So
you see the people that survive, but then you also see the people that don't.
That's what I'm saying.
You see the people that quit. And go ahead.
No, some people just move on to other things, man. Life happens for us all in different ways, is what I would say. Like, some people think that I stopped DJing, and it's not that I stopped DJing. I'm very passionate about a ton of things, and it just so happened that I wasn't getting called on to DJ as much, and there's nothing wrong with that, but like I still DJ, and I think that for some people, timing is everything too. So there's a ton of people I know that I'm on their ass. I'm like, man, you are one of my favorite artists, and I haven't heard any music. And to the public, it might seem like they're not doing anything, but some of these people, I'll put some kudos out there that some people still work. Just life happens interestingly for us all, is what I would say there.
No, I agree. I met you as, you were a DJ when I met you. I think I met you in like 2020, 2021. Probably DJing at Utopia.
Nah, whole time. The first time I met you, I remember exactly what was going on.
Really? It wasn't at Utopia?
No, sir. We met so shout out to 3 Days. And I was helping them out, put a show together. They wanted to do a showcase of their own.
Okay. I just saw Boris at the Nicholas F show.
Shout out Boris. Yeah. Shout out Clifton.
And 3 Days not even a thing anymore.
I know. But still, shout out all of them guys individually,
definitely.
Because individually talented in their own ways outside of the group they were. But yeah, I was helping them with a show at Prime Studios next to Charlie's. I don't even know if you remember this, in Riverview. And you told me your name. You're like, yeah, my name's Selmir, and like I make music too. And it was at the show? This was at the show, man. And you had said, I had told you that I was doing Unreliable radio, or it was something that I had done. And you had mentioned that you wanted to do something like this, and you weren't quite doing it yet, but
the podcast.
You fucking did it, man. Yeah,
that's crazy. I don't even remember that show, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was a dope show. It was I still have some pictures from the show, I'm pretty sure, but it was, I want to say like 2018, 2019.
2018?
Yeah.
That's crazy. See, I remember meeting you at you were DJing at Utopia, like a lot of their early open mics, like 2020, 2021, around that time. And you were DJing there. What always stood out to me from there is I felt like you had the best sound. As far as like the vocal quality and how the sound just sounded at the open mic and at these events, I was like, nah, bro, I don't know what bro's doing, but I was like, he has the best sound.
I appreciate that. I think that outside of, just trying to make yourself sound good as a DJ or whatever, learning more about, how somebody should sound, not even just music theory, but also, mixing in key and things like that, is important. So I just have always tried to make sure that I'm not embarrassing the artist or making them not sound good whenever they're performing. And it's just something I'm passionate about, man. I doing DIY shows for forever and had to figure out a way to make it work. So
we touched on a little bit on just the different eras. You said you got out of high school, kind of got into the scene. Maybe we can just start there. Like, how did you get into creative stuff? You want to just touch a little bit on just coming up, how you got into doing creative stuff. Yeah. Did you start out as a DJ? Were you doing other things? Maybe touch on some of these other things you're passionate about that you're talking about.
Man, all over the place. Like, I played sports. And
you're from Virginia Beach, right?
Yeah, born and raised Virginia Beach. Was just into everything. I made clothes in high school. I had a little mini clothing brand I was working on, and of course, I was making music, shitty raps, bedroom raps.
So you was a rapper at first?
I
didn't even know that.
I tried to rap.
Did you go to high school with anybody like that's on the scene right now that I know?
That you would know. Let me think. I went to high school with Trip. You know the artist Trip.
I know Trip.
I went to high school. Who else went to our high school? DJ Maya May went to my school as well. I'm trying to think of people that. Honestly, not too many people from Kempsville really.
So Kempsville High, that's in Virginia Beach. Okay.
Kempsville High is in Virginia Beach. We sucked at everything, sports-wise. I played basketball. We would make the playoffs, but we wouldn't go far pretty much at all.
So you're doing these bedroom raps.
So I'm doing bedroom raps and, making clothes. And our school has a bunch of spirits. So I'm just, it's funny enough, they have like all the schools in Virginia Beach have like programs now where you can like fill out,
like arts programs?
Basically, but they're not all arts. So like some of them will be like business related, some of them are like math related, some of them are medical related, and Kempsville's is like entrepreneurship now. But that's not what they were doing at the time. But, had some good teachers that were teaching marketing and in some ways selling yourself. I wasn't really taught that in a good way, but I did have some teachers that pushed, I got some talents, and talking to people was just always a good thing. And I had some homies that they made music, and I didn't think from the outside, I wasn't a part of their group, but High Five Ghost, Frank from the Trap Now, my boy Alan, Tim, and DT, they didn't really get a fair shake from someone I didn't think. And that was really one of the first pushes to start doing events. My dad was a DJ though, so I had been DJing for a little while. Just nothing I took seriously until around the time I went to college.
He was a DJ in like Virginia Beach area?
My dad has DJ'd overseas. He's DJ'd in France. He's DJ'd in Belgium. He's DJ'd.
Yeah, so he was doing like for real then.
Yeah, he toured in the military, but he's got to DJ alongside some dope DJs, and like some of my earliest memories are like waking up to him with his techniques out in his 1200s and going crazy. And
that's funny. How does he feel about what you're doing right now?
He's always been super supportive. If anything, he's been one of my one of my biggest advocates. He's bought me equipment. One of the only things he hasn't done is he hasn't like come to a show or anything yet. But he's super busy. He's always working, literally.
Is he still in the military?
No. He like works in the tech field mostly, but honestly, COVID, he was trucking, driving across the country all the time. And then,
my dad's a truck driver too.
Nice. I mean, that's some hard work right there that you got to be committed to.
Hard work and great money. Without college, my dad ain't going to college, so it's like you make some good money.
Hell yeah. No, I mean, I commend him, especially if he's driving for himself or anything like that. My dad wasn't. But yeah, so just always had a passion for DJing. And when I got to college, I had a great idea. Like I said, I had done a few events, parties here and there. I had a friend who was in High Five Ghost, Alan, who I wanted him to come and move in with me when I was at Radford University. A close friend of both of ours had passed away, and a lot of our friends weren't dealing with it well. And I trusted this man's music capabilities so much. I didn't want to see him dwindle it away. Alan could tell.
Okay.
I didn't want to see him to put himself in a bad situation over this. And he came to live with me in the mountains, and we did a college tour. We did shows at Bradford, at JMU, at VCU, shows just in a Strange Matter and a few other stops. Just like
you're
random.
the DJ.
I'm the DJ.
He's the artist.
He's the artist, and brought like Frankie and a few people out too to expose them to random college kids that we have made friends with now. Like we would make friends off of this, but we had friends at other schools that they would find a house or they would find a basement that we could do it. Shout out Frankie. He broke some girl's floor in Richmond. We didn't even know the girl. He had people jumping fucking hard, man. What
do you mean by some of your friends weren't dealing with the passing of this friend, Will? If you want to touch on that.
Yeah. No. So I just think that to each their own, in times like that, like, but a lot of our friends were kind of prescribing, and that was when Xanax was really getting big. So I feel like all of our friends, and I like to have a good time. But predominantly, I came back from school, and people that I didn't see like really do or use or anything were like just getting fucked up all the time. And I didn't like it. But more than anything, I didn't want him to fall into that. And even outside of that, like I cared about the guy and genuinely thought that he was talented, and to expose him to some other people would do well for him, honestly. So invited him to come. We lived in shared one room in a basement in the mountains. But we grew even closer as brothers throughout that time, and made me more passionate about doing events and wanting to DJ more so. And we ended up, I did St. Kinlaws Day. That festival that I do is in honor of that friend that passed away. So, okay. We were able to kind of turn a dark time into some positive moments for us. And I'm very, happy that we were able to come out of that way.
I've been to, I think, 2 of the St. Kinlaws.
Yeah.
So, okay, you're on this college. How did you set up this college tour at that time? Like, how'd you go about setting up the fucking
It's crazy,
dates
man.
and shit?
Internet, honestly, shout out to the internet for existing. And I don't utilize you as much as I should anymore, but shout out to internet. Honestly, just word of mouth. There were some people that I had found their music and we interacted, and they happened to have played a show somewhere before, and they're like, hey, I know you're trying to put this tour together, so here's this basement that, like, I don't know if you ever heard of Crayola House in Harrisonburg at JMU, but
I don't think so.
That's one of the craziest situations I've ever met. An artist at a show in New York, and he just happened to mention that when he did a tour, this was we did a show with Voss Rollins, shout out Voss Rollins, and I forget what tour that this artist was on, but they said that they had hit Crayola in Harrisonburg, and it's literally this historical, damn near 30-year-old venue that is a house that students of JMU will rent.
That's the house party spot.
Not even really house parties, but like they book bands and DJs and shit in their basement consistently. Like, so not just to pull up, get fucked up, but like we are supporting tours.
And enjoy some and support some like local talent.
So it was cool. So we set us up with them, and we did a show there. We also did a show with like some fraternities at different schools. Like we just got to be exposed around crowds we wouldn't normally be around. And it just led into other shows at venues now. Being able to interpolate that to do shows at like Shaka's and Strange Matter and places was cool. But it all started in abandoned houses and basements and shit. Like straight DIY. It's just ridiculous.
So you finished the tour. Oh, actually, what did you go to college for?
I went to college for the experience.
You didn't, what was his degree?
No, I went to college for, initially I was going for sports medicine, and I played sports. I either wanted to be in charge of the team or the organization, or to be on the team. I didn't necessarily want to be in charge of repairing your Achilles tendon tearing, or, so I tried to switch it to like sports and event management, which is kind of what I do now, event stuff more so, but school just wasn't for me at the time. I was paying out of pocket myself. I looked at how much debt I was in and didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do, at least at school. So We decided to keep, and at the time when I was with Alan, we were staying at Radford, but I wasn't in school. Like I had did a year, came back home, Kinlaw passes, and then like I don't want to stay home.
Name. Oh, so I didn't even know that. So Kinlaw
his name was Jonathan Kinlaw. Jonathan Victor Kinlaw was his name, and so he passes away. I go back home for a little while, and I didn't want to be home at all, just because all my friends are getting fucked up, and it just wasn't good for me. So yeah, we went back to Radford, but I'm not in school. He's not in school. We just are living.
Where y'all staying at?
I was in a fraternity, man. So you're
in a fraternity that you're not even going to the school.
I'm in a fraternity, not in the school. We're living in the basement it's my fucking. It's a chapter house.
Is that a common thing? Like, are other people doing that?
It's actually way more common than you think.
Really?
It's actually way more common than you think. Well, what happens is, like, you get in a situation like me where it's called having, like, you're supposed to have legal brothers, right? But you'll have some people where they're in a situation, they go to school, they pledge their spring semester of their freshman year, right? So they're still in school. And then the next school year, I forget what the GPA is or whatever, but if you don't have that GPA, or if you're not taking classes, technically you're an illegal brother. You're not like on any books. The school doesn't know you exist as a part of the organization. So yeah, you would have people that they didn't make grades, or they can't take classes for a semester or whatever. They're trying to figure the fuck out, or they gave up on school and they're living up on a campus, and that was kind of a big thing, honestly. My fraternity, honestly, when we started out, it was a bigger thing. It was maybe only half and half. Half of them were legal and half were not, but now they're like one of the top on campus. Yeah.
Are you still connected with any people that were like you were in a fraternity with?
Yeah, my fraternity, like, it's pretty big now, but like my pledge brothers, the ones that like I went in with, I still keep in contact with the majority of them. Shout out to TJ. I haven't talked to TJ in a little bit, but Sleazy is one of my brothers. He actually gave me the name Scholaship. He said that I did everything like I was trying to get a scholarship for it, like everything. And it was a joke at first, and I didn't really like the name, but it kind of became a thing that I embraced. And I feel like that's with all nicknames. You don't really pick it yourself. Somebody gives it to you, and it just kind of sticks. So.
That's crazy. Somehow I never got a nickname.
Some
people call me Off-World now, but it's like, that's not really a nickname.
In general, Selmir is definitely a super unique name.
That's already unique enough.
You're the only person that I know with the name.
Yeah.
And that's why I said I remembered meeting you at that show, because I was like, his name is Selmir, okay? Fuck yeah. He makes music. Give me an Instagram, and I got you on Instagram for that.
Also, it's funny on sports, too. I always say, like, it would be fire to be good enough just to make it into, like, the pros, but just to be a bench player. Like you just make millions just sit on the bench.
The best occupation ever is being a bench player.
Being a bencher in the NFL.
Being a bench.
Couple mil a year,
like,
just chilling.
Going on in practice, letting motherfuckers cross you up a little bit. You know, just playing defense, but sitting on the bench, traveling, not having no actual worry of anything. Making millions? It's got to be insane.
Okay, so you get back from college. What was the experience of, like, or how was that first St. Kinlaws Day? How was the experience starting that, and maybe touch on just that evolution? Because I think you've done 3 of them maybe now, or how many have you done now?
No, man. Like, if everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, this year would be the 9th year.
The 9th year?
The 9th year.
Then I was late as fuck.
It's okay, and a lot of people don't know that.
Evolution of them. Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that, and. But yeah, like, crazily enough, Utopia Finney and St. Kinlaws Day, like, both started on the same day. We didn't even know each other or know about anything.
They started on the same day?
Utopia Finney was founded on the same day, August 15th,
wow.
In 2015. And we were just like, it was kind of something that, like I said, after doing the tour and everything, I'm just kind of still, even before the tour, I'm just feeling like there's something that could be done positive for this. Like, this St. Kinlaws Day was before the tour. And like just trying to think about a good way to show love for my brother. And we had done some shows together and had ambitions to do festivals and things like that. And so I was like, well, we can still do an event together. I'm gonna put together an event. I'm gonna put it in honor of my mans, and it'll be still us doing it, you know. And more than anything, like I said, I had friends that made music. At this point, I had moved out to Suffolk, Nansman River, specifically for my senior year of high school too. So I had met other people that had made music on that realm. So I met some of the like Thai safaris and beginnings of like one of the earliest memories of me joining Nasma River was Breeze Park had a whole video of of like them deciding who the next member was gonna be, and I mean, but just freaky how I got to meet some of these people, right? And at St. Kinlaws Day, got to bring a lot of those artists together. Trady Stunner, rest in peace, performed at the very first one.
We actually did a podcast with him. Trady Stunner, rest in peace. He told us a crazy story. I don't know if you know this story. How he saved a baby.
I don't think I know
a baby's
this story.
life.
No,
bro, it's a crazy episode. He basically just summarize it. He was at the mall, tweaked up, off whatever he was off in the parking lot, and there was a random lady, like a mother by herself with her baby, and her baby started choking on a penny, and he literally took the penny out of the baby's mouth, saved the baby's life, bro.
I feel like I didn't. Forgive me, I have not seen that one specifically, but I feel like I remember seeing the clip. Okay. I feel like I remember seeing.
So he performed at the first St. Kinlaws Day.
Yes, Trady Stunner performed at the first one. Derek Panther is what he goes by. Talented artist, insane producer, and just crazy overall musically. Yeah, but some bands played, and it was just like it's a multi-genre experience. It's a free event. I never really wanted to push it as something that I wanted to make money off of. I've never charged for it. The only thing that I charged for are vendors. The vendors' fees go for paying for like the event space, the porta potties, the alcohol permits, and stuff like that. But what I will tell people is, if you're passionate about trying to do events, especially in honor of friends or a loved one, if monetizing it is something that you want to do, you know, definitely think big scale. You know, I ultimately wanted to do something to celebrate my friend, and I was only 18, so I went to a bunch of places and got a bunch of no's. Like, I didn't just
as far as
settle,
like venues.
Oh man, venues, and talking to the cities, and like for City of Virginia Beach, trying to see like what I could and couldn't do, event spaces that I could use, and I wanted to mainly use city property, which is also the first mistake. If you're trying to do some shit like that, don't use city property.
How come?
City property, 9 times out of 10, you have to lease it from the city to use it, right? If you use private property, you don't have to pay the city anything to use it, as well as the city might charge you to get some type of insurance.
Permits, you gotta spend
to
extra,
use it, a permit to use it. If you want to have an alcohol permit now, you also have to work with a nonprofit organization.
You gotta do everything legit.
You gotta do everything legit, which costs more. And it costs. Like, I ultimately spent way too much money. Like, shout out to every single person that bought a Kenny Smiles. Shout out to Donna for putting those together. We made like bracelets. We had fundraisers with Skinny Dip. We raised like $10,000 on GoFundMe the first year, and really had plans to like further it and continue to use it. And we were able to, but I spent way too much money, man. We used Williams Farm Park. If you're not familiar with it, it's a park out in Virginia Beach. It was the only park that the city was trying to let me use. I wanted to use 73rd Street out in Virginia Beach or some type of space out at the oceanfront.
They didn't want you anywhere near the oceanfront.
Not even close. They said, fuck no. So Williams Farm Park was the best thing that they offered me, which is 3 acres of land that I didn't need 3 acres of land. But when they heard what I'm trying to do, they're like, you can use this. It was like way too much money. For the space itself, it was like $4,000.
You paid that?
From the GoFundMe money and everything.
Okay.
For the police officers, we had to have 2 off-duty police officers. We're all underage. We're not selling liquor for this or anything for this first one, but because of how many people they were anticipating being there, I'm paying these guys $45 an hour each.
The off-duty police officers.
One thing that they didn't do, and if you're afraid about getting off-duty police officers, they didn't complain about the weed or anything. They really didn't say anything at all, and this is before weed was legal here.
It's like 2015.
It's 2015, and we're saying a damn thing, but
I'm actually surprised about that, but okay.
It was very shocking, and especially because, like I said, and looking at some of these pictures, we are all obviously not 21. Like, the majority of us. There's some people that are more of age, but the majority, and there's some parents and stuff there, and it was a really good turnout. But yeah, mostly.
Did they have like power there, or did you guys have generators?
I had to rent that out too. Yeah, they had the only thing that they had that year that I didn't have to get was porta potties, because they actually had a restroom there, but. The shirts, we built the stage. Shout out to Mark Gonzalez and his dad. They helped us we built the stage. We did like pop-up shows in Mark's backyard called It's Lit, where we would charge $1 and invited artists to come and perform. But like artists from different areas, like Rochambeau came. I forget what part of Virginia they're from, but like I really wanted to make it not just a showcase of artists from here. I wanted it to be a multi-genre showcase of Virginia artists. And we've had over 210 artists, I think was the last number I counted at, of artists that have performed at all the different ones, from Harrisonburg, Lynchburg, Roanoke, Richmond, Chesterfield, Woodbridge, all over Virginia that have come to these shows. So it's been cool to share my brother's memory for a good family day and share it with these artists too.
I think it's also important to mention the amount of money it takes that goes into these events, time and energy, and it's like you may not always make money. I think ultimately you want to find a way to make money over like at some point, because you can't keep doing it for free forever. Eventually you get burned out, or you need more money to make it bigger, make it better.
Exactly.
But it's like, if it starts from a place of where you're passionate from and you're doing it for, you know what I'm saying, you're following your heart to do it, I feel like the money will eventually come. I don't know.
The money does come, but also like the opportunities come as well. Life for me personally is really about, you know, opportunity and experiences and those that I get to meet. Money comes and goes. We all know that. But for me, what has blessed me the most in what I do, I've taken losses on events where I'm so dedicated to making sure the artist is taken care of, or making sure that the experience is good for the people that are coming, to where I'm okay with it. And for a long time, the events was my income. There were periods of time I'm not working or anything. I'm doing these events to make money off of it. So I can see how some people get burnt out on that sometimes. But I would say more than anything, like, if it's something that you're passionate about, know that energy really is going to be reciprocated by those people that you're trying to work with. There's some situations that I've stumbled into just because of having a good interaction with somebody at a different event. So yeah, I think that, you know, good things come to those that are trying to put good out there, for sure.
Put good out there, and it's like relationships are kind of our key. You know what I'm saying? And
it's definitely about who you know in a lot of instances.
Yeah, it's like people always say it's like about who you know, but that almost makes it sound like this transactional, vague thing. It's past that. Like actually put effort into like building good relationships with people.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily, it's about who you know. People are stuck in the like why you know them too, I think, as well. And they like force relationships sometimes. But ultimately, like, you don't have to be up someone's ass just because they're in the realm of something that you want to do. I feel like just showing up in a lot of instances is enough for some people, and it'll make them want to include you or even just think of you. It's happened to me in a lot of instances. I'm thinking I'm not necessarily thought of, and I end up with a event or something from somebody that I wouldn't have thought would have recommended me for it or something, you know? Yeah. So it's all about just keeping a level head through it all. We all destined for greatness. Just like run your race. We all good.
Run your race. Okay, so I want to get into a few other things. Like I want to get into Unreliable Radio. I want to get into this High Tide events. I want to get into the retreat. I know you guys like a creative retreat. Man. But before we get into that, we just started a broadcast channel today on Instagram.
I seen.
And so I'm having people like, I'm kind of announcing early who the guest is, and then people can ask, like have a chance to ask you a question.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a question I want to say. It's from Frankie. You brought up Frankie earlier.
Oh yeah, shout out Frankie.
Basically, Frankie asked, let me pull it up, and I might tweak his question a little bit. He said, I think we have 3 questions. Oh, we have 4 questions now. People still sending questions. Okay, so
shout out to you.
This one kind of really pertains to what you're doing. Frankie from the Trap said, why you the only DJ that runs VA artist music at functions? You the GOAT. Touch on that, and also just touch on the importance of DJs in a local scene, because I've been feeling like, at least as far as like this year for sure, these past 6 months, you haven't seen as many shows with artists performing. It's more DJs that are throwing these events, and people are coming out to that. So it's like DJs have really been holding the scene down, I feel like, in a major way. Maybe touch on that too.
Yeah. So to shout out to Frankie, I don't know, man. I think that it's important to have different types of DJs for sure. I'm just someone that is of the mindset. Like I said, my dad being a DJ, he always would put it, or it would be brought to my attention sometimes, you know, that the music is about that social experience that you're sharing with people. And for me, even outside of just like a good beat, a lot of instances is it doesn't take that much for me to share music with someone that I know that they might not have access to. So of course, if my friend makes some
what do you
music,
mean by that?
like if my friend makes some music, right, and I know that we're in a function or something where all these people don't necessarily know him, and this shit is hard. It's a good ass song. I have a DJ set right now, right, and it doesn't matter if I'm at a bar or in a venue or whatever. 10 times out of 10, if given the situation, I'm going to look for an opportunity to include my friends or an artist I like's music that I know the crowd may not know, and interpolate it in something that they'd understand with a song that they might like already. Ease it in there, but still give the crowd the opportunity to hear something that they wouldn't expect to. We just did the show at Jam Cafe, and security's turning left and right to come and ask me, who the fuck is this? And I played Frankie's shit. I forget who I played it after, but literally, who the fuck is this? And got to point and say, it's that motherfucker right there that just walked in here. I played it because he walked in here, and this shit is hard. Y'all need to hear it. Go talk to the man, you know? I think that's important for not even just the artists, but the DJs to do more, be more involved in some instances, sharing music like that.
Do you think people mainly want to hear shit they know, though?
I think that it depends on where you are. The crowd is always going to, and the DJ is supposed to play for the crowd. But, you know, I think a good DJ will find a way to convince some people to at least give something a chance. Even if it's not the thing that they want to hear right there, they'll give it a chance. And, you know, getting them in the ear or even sparking that conversation, like I said, of people being able to know he's there, he's talking to, I think that's valid. I've always liked to connect with a producer or an artist, or just try to get people to find out more about these people that I think are dope. And it's nothing wrong with doing it. People are going to like it or they don't, but I just like to take time to show love to my friends and other artists. I just like their music.
And maybe touch on just the importance of DJs, like, in a scene, period.
DJs are the most important, if you ask me, in most facets because of this. If a DJ is actively trying to share the music, 9 times out of 10, a DJ is going to be playing stuff that people know, but they're playing they're curating. You know, they're really trying to put this together. So an artist can come out and do their thing and have a good time, but in a lot of these instances, you're seeing the DJ kind of keep the people together. You're seeing the DJ, like you're saying, they're doing their own events and stuff now, keeping the scene together. Before people were performing in this hip-hop scene, a lot of instances too, those first hip-hop parties were DJs. It was DJs bringing the music to the people. So I honestly think that the DJ is the focal point of a lot of this.
I saw somebody tweet recently, I don't even know, it's like a random person, and I asked them this question, and their replies, they didn't respond to me, but they were like, I guess anybody could be a DJ now. There are no more good DJs. All that matters is if you can bring people out. So I've responded, like, first of all, like, what is a good DJ? And also, wasn't it always important to be able to bring people out?
Yes, it is. No one cares if you have a fire set and no one's there. I've done that before, man. I had a show at Shaka's where it was me and the homies, and that was it.
And that was it.
there was like, okay, to be fair, there was like
security was in there.
Security wasn't in there. For real. Security was just outside, like to the side. They weren't even fucking with us for real. The bartender was looking a little sad, but to be fair, there was like, I didn't even know about it. And on the topic of DJs, I forget who the DJ was that did it, but there was a DJ meetup going on at like Beach House, like right next door. And like, so I'd even leave them for the function to go down to the DJ meetup. I'm like, everybody's here? They're like, yeah, it's a DJ meetup. We just like socializing, getting chopping it up. It's like DJ Fonts and people from the radio were there talking to like the Young Bucks. I'm like, I had no idea this just, so can't be upset. I got to network and shit, but like really when it comes down to it, getting people there is very important. But yes, it is easier, it is accessible, but that's with everything. We got AI now. We got people that don't necessarily have to have degrees and stuff doing stuff. Like, it's okay to let other people have accessibility to stuff more than anything. Like, use that as a reason to want to snap more. Like, show how different you are, you know? I think that it is easy to get a controller and then be like, I'm just going to, you know, push some buttons for a little bit and come up with a few playlists to play for a little while. But overwhelmingly in this area, there's some good ass DJs.
So being able to bring people out, that's on that list of what makes a good DJ. What else is on that list?
Yeah, I mean, not just being able to bring people out, but being able to I want to say, well, like, think on your toes, basically. Like, you can't be settled. Like, I think that one thing some people think they can have is just like one set list of songs. Like, you have to be, I have thousands and thousands and thousands of songs that at any given time, I know whatever hot cue I can hit to start at a different point, to jump into a right song. Like, I think it's important to have stuff set up for situations.
Okay.
Because it doesn't, you're not going to be around the same crowd every time. You're not going to be on the same sound system every time. You're not going to be, so I think like just being able to have a wide variety, be ready for a lot of things, and just have a deep repertoire is important.
So that's going into like the technique of how to actually DJ, what to play, being able to read the crowd.
Being able to read the crowd, that's super important. But honestly, like, just having your own identity and not just making it feel like something regurgitated. Like, it's easy to go to a club in New York or whatever, and they have shitty DJs out there sometimes. They could just play whatever top 50 stuff that we know everybody likes, but like, what do you like? Tell me something and how you're mixing a little bit. I feel like that's important.
What's the most annoying thing you like hate when DJs do, or like what's something that's like what is like a don't do as a DJ? Like, definitely don't do this.
Definitely don't for me. I feel like I can name a couple, but we'll think of just one. Definitely don't. Don't play the same BPM all night, for sure. I mean, that's an easy one. Like, it's easy enough to stick at one BPM where somebody can just move to that same beat the whole time, and that's all you want to do. But like, you got to switch that up a little bit. Like I said, DJs, if you don't already think about doing this or know about doing this, start mixing in key a little bit. And I'm a blend type of DJ, so like, let songs breathe a little more. Like, sometimes people like to just transition, crossfade right into another song. Like, let the songs interpolate together a little bit. Like, let them dance together. Like, turn the high, make the bass on one song, go with the low, or go with the highs on another song. Like, I just like to really jam out a little bit more personally. So it feels less just robotic. It feels more like humans or something, you know?
I feel like it's going back to like kind of the origins of hip hop, when the DJ was the front guy. The artist was like the sidekick, for real. Well, it kind of went to the artist, the DJ fell in the back. But you see now, like we're talking about, even with our scene, you see the DJs are kind of at the forefront. Yeah. Even these big DJs, you see a lot of DJs are playing festivals. A lot of DJs are playing big festivals that a lot of artists can't even get booked on.
Yeah, and a huge portion of that is as well that, and this is why I say like also having like a diverse bag, because like overseas they love DJs, man, way
like them, like all like the EDM shows and shit.
Oh yeah, and like Ibiza, and man, they go crazy. But really, like, music is a language. We know this, and like for a DJ, you are really speaking to people in multiple different ways at once throughout your set. You're giving people ranges of emotions throughout your set, you know. So an artist, yeah, if the people are really, really passionate about that artist, they will be emotionally involved the entire time. They will, you know, be sucked up in that moment. The DJ really, I think, in a lot more instances, has like they're clutching the crowd. Like, you really have that control over them. And what are you going to do with it? Do you want to make them feel more mellow? Do you want to casually rise them up, and now you're just at a crazy energy the whole time?
Welcome to the party.
It's crazy. And especially if it doesn't have words, man. Some of the biggest songs in the world are just beats and stuff,
I went to this, I had a guy on the podcast named Tiara Tastemaker recently. I don't know if you know what that is. It's this dude, he's like a future funk DJ, and he's into the whole cosplay scene.
Bet.
So he got on my live, and he invited me to his show that was like happening a few weeks ago. And I went there, and it was like, bro, he had a lot of people in there. Everybody was dressed up as cosplay. Everybody was
big
like,
community,
genuinely having a good time.
It was out here?
Like, yeah, it was in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, I
think Norfolk actually.
There's a decent,
So he put me on with that whole community, but like Yeah, that was something I noticed about the music he was playing. Like there was not one song the whole night that had lyrics. It was just all just music.
And just dance. And like overseas and shit, like people think like these songs are cool, but do you think everybody in the world knows English? Like there are a lot of places where they know English, but overwhelmingly,
but they know how to shake their ass everywhere.
They know how to shake their ass. They know
Shaking ass is universal.
It is, you know? So at the end of the day, I'm gonna shake some ass.
He said, I'm gonna shake some ass.
I'm gonna shake some ass to a beat. I'm gonna shake some ass to a beat before I'm gonna shake some ass. You know, motherfuckers just talking.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so we touching on kind of just the DJ stuff. What was the idea behind starting Unreliable Radio? Where are you at with that right now? Yeah, how's that going?
Yeah, so Unreliable Radio is something that was started again around the time I was doing the college tour.
And maybe explain to people what it is.
Yeah, so Unreliable Radio is a platform that I had built, started that one before St. Kinlaws in like 2014, towards end of 2014, in which I just was coming across artists on the internet, again, shout out the internet, that I wanted to expose more people to, whether locally or on a bigger scale. I was balls deep on SoundCloud and just, you know, wanted to put some content out. And again, I'm DJing. I'm using virtual DJ at the time and just interested in journalism. I used to get paid to write write-ups for like wrestling after.
Really?
Yeah.
Which wrestling?
Monday Night Raw and TNA.
Really? Damn, how was that? How'd you get involved with that?
I pretended to be older than I was, first off. But there was this website called The Wrestling Game, which it was a RPG-based game. It was a text-based RPG game. You could build your own wrestler, and it had a huge community. And I'm like 13 at the time, but I'm going crazy on this. And just like you could build your own federation, all this shit. And I just ended up having some conversations and chats with a guy that was the editor, and they would like post recaps of everything wrestling, and it was getting a bunch of views. And I just was pushing for the fact that I was interested in wrestling, but I was doing a lot of creative writing at the time and thought about being a journalist. So just asked if I could start helping doing like recaps of events, and they wanted me to do pay-per-views, and I couldn't pay for that shit. I'm fucking 13, so I'm like, I'll do anything you need if you need it weekly. And somebody stopped doing it, and literally every Monday and Thursday for like at least like 8-9 months, I would record the shit. My parents were super religious, didn't let me stay up and shit. I couldn't even stay up that late, like at that time. So I would like record it overnight, wake up early as fuck before school, watch it.
How would you record it?
We had Verizon Fios that like fucking you could record it on like a not a TiVo, but you could like record it and go back and watch it.
So you're 13 years old. Like, you're recording this Monday Night Raw?
And TNA.
You're recording them because you can't even stay up that late.
I can't stay up that late.
At 13, then you watch them next day, and then you write a review on what happened?
I'm watching that, and I'm watching SportsCenter before school so I could talk about sports with the homies. And yeah, I'm literally like psychoanalyzing this wrestling like it's real, like, and verbatim writing like 750 words per match. And then like rating it on, I gave a scale, a star scale. Yeah, I got paid to do that.
How much were they paying you for that?
I was getting paid like $150 per article. It was cool though.
Wow.
It was straight.
At 13, you probably was 13. Like, no, I'm fucking doing this shit.
Yeah, like, they did not know I was 13. So like, I don't think they would have let me do. Maybe they would have if they knew I was 13.
How old are you?
But like,
did they even ask how old you were?
Nah, I mean, but like, I definitely was put on the front like I was an older guy. Like, I just never got asked how old I was. But I think if they knew I was 13, they'd be like, this little ass kid, like.
You probably did y'all even like speak on the phone, or was it all just like?
Oh no, everything was all typing, all like I wasn't going for none of that. But like it was cool. I never like gave anybody personal information. I did like get some of their PSNs and like game with them and shit, but I never even didn't use my voice on that.
That's like
chill.
That's like some rare shit. Like I didn't know that.
It's super random. People wouldn't know it about me, but yeah. So interested in journalism, and then still interested at the time when I was doing Unreliable Radio that I had a website, and I was more so doing write-ups on people first, and I would have music up there of artists, and it like started off as a shitty Wix account, a Wix website, and didn't like the way it was formatted and all this shit. So I was like, I'm gonna just make it like a podcast basically, and did it digitally, and got to meet some dope people and interview some dope artists through it, like Netar, Black Cray, Shout out to Boris, who was on there. We also, Nolan B. Rollin', we did some shows out of it too. And like just got to really get more enamored with the underground. Like more artists started reaching out to me, sending me music. So I'm featuring this music on there. And that's really how my DJing got pushed out more. Like honestly, I still get some love off of like old mixes and stuff from out of town shit. Like a lot of more people will know about it out of town than they do here. And it's crazy how the internet works. But it just made me want to continue to network with some people and put out their stories and try to get them more involved with people here. So led to shows with like Black Cray and shows with the likes of who was the last big one we did? We did a show with Keela Letitia, but that was a High Tide show, but just made some dope connections through it.
What's High Tide?
High Tide is a show, art party, if you will, that Adante is cool and I do together. We're doing them for a while and doing skits out of it for like a year, and then COVID kind of derailed some plans that we had for it, but just an experience. We would bring together live artists painting and try to bring artists from other areas. Like we brought, like I said, Keela Letitia to the first Family Ties. Rest in peace to Family Ties.
Is it over?
The original Family Ties, I'll say. It's Family Ties isn't gone. I'm just saying the location.
The studio. That's the one. So I think Kato told us that story on the pod with him and Mari. That's the one that got, I think, raided by the police, right?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That shit is real as fuck. But yeah, that shit got... Virginia Beach Police, fuck y'all, man. That shit was fucked up. Whoever it was that did that, but I'm pretty positive it was VBPD. But yeah, it was a great space, man. They had like a Eagle's Nest DJ booth. You would DJ in the air. But
you said an Eagle's Nest?
That's what I called it.
That's what it's called? Okay.
It was like high as fuck in the air above everybody. So
I'm
like,
thinking Eagle's Nest in
Oh, no. Bro,
I went there for New Year's.
Bar.
I've been there a couple times, bro. I actually really like that spot.
Yeah?
It's like the only spot I've seen. Like Eagles Nest, it's the one that has like 4 different dance floors.
Yeah, is it
and then
the
you
one?
go to the different parts and it's different music everywhere.
It's over there in Chesapeake County, right?
I think
Military
Chesapeake.
Highway?
I kind of forgot now. It's actually really fun. Just side note
Nebraska.
on Eagles Nest.
Eagles Nest is cool.
We went there for New Year's, right?
Yeah.
And I guess they had some type of dress policy that night, and the cargo pants I had on, like they weren't trying to let me in. But it was so fire because the security guard knew about the podcast and he got me in.
Shout out.
And I was like, bro, I love being
security.
a podcaster.
Hey.
Come on. So we got in. We had a good time.
That's
DJ Sween Dog was
fire.
with us too, and his girl. He didn't have such a good time. The bartender tried to come at Sween. It was a little, but we had a good time though.
Shout out to Sween.
But so yeah, there was this Eagles Nest DJ booth.
Yeah,
at,
just high as fuck in the
studio.
air and just spray painted, nice DIY space. But just it was cool to meet some artists through it and bring some artists to the area. But that's a time where again I'm talking about learning different ways to not spend all the money on the events because I'm so concerned on making sure the artist gets what they're supposed to out of it that I'm not necessarily caring about myself, which no regrets at all, but just learning how to do it better was really around that time of doing Unreliable Radio and just been taking a step back to recalibrate the way I want to do it to last not only for my benefit, but also those that are involved. So shout out to Alan. We've been plotting it out. We've got some things in the works and Dante's been helping us, but he's also doing his own thing as well too. So be on the lookout.
I went on Dante's pod recently.
How was that?
It was fun. It was fun. Also, I saw the video on your Instagram.
I apologize.
Say what?
I apologize for his antics. He's a
funny guy. I like
guy,
Dante.
but-
I met him actually at Slow Dive before it shut down. He like did a mini interview with me.
There are too many places that are being mentioned that I want to say rest in peace after.
Right.
Rest in peace to Slow Dive.
No,
man.
for
That's
real.
crazy.
I met a lot of people there. I also saw on your Instagram, I saw the video of you and Dante, I think, promoting High Tides. He was like a cop or something. I was fucking weak. I was like, hey, yo.
We were seeing if I didn't have as many things undocumented, you could have got crazier. But yeah, we were doing skits with the High Tide thing, and that was one of the last skits that we did to like promote the shows and stuff. But he's a funny guy, and we just have good energy, feed off each other. So we still been goofing around, but we've got some things that'll most likely be coming out with Unreliable Radio. And of course, him and Scud have been going crazy with the. When were you on an episode though? Recently, like last week or something?
Dante's?
Yeah.
Probably like 2 months ago maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, with Kilo Scott. It was.
Oh, yeah.
It's now that they're in the house. We did it in the house.
Yeah. No, I've been watching them in the house. It's not the one. The titles be throwing me off.
It's the one they're like changing the background and shit.
Okay.
It was cool.
Shout out
I think we talked for like an hour. We was busting off a pick. I brought my nicotine toothpicks. They didn't want any though.
It's a nicotine toothpick.
Yeah.
What? Where do you get those?
New wave. I just found it online. There's a bunch. They're sponsoring a bunch of different podcasts. That's how I got hip to it.
They got sponsored. You got sponsorship?
No, I wish. We have a sponsor. Shout out to Kinlaws. That's our sponsor. But
shout out to Kinlaws.
Not them.
Yeah,
for sure. Also, that water's free too if you want some water.
Shout out Kinlaws. Oh, appreciate that.
So you said there's some new things coming out on Unreliable Radio.
It's in the works. So honestly, this year, the last 6 months, and we've been recalibrating some stuff. Alan's got some like ideas for programming, and I've been mostly getting back into the habit of mixing. I honestly had not really been DJing for a little while. I don't really have proper equipment, and I haven't for years. I've been jerry-rigged the controller to work the way I want it to, but it's not really the right equipment. But in the process of getting that too. But more than anything, I got a job with the city. I work for the city of Norfolk now, and going into doing things right. I'm just involved in events at a larger level now.
Is that what you were saying you're doing, like for the Norva?
Well, not Norva,
the
not
scope.
Norva. Yeah, I work for 7 venues, so they handle events that come through to Harbor Park, which is where the baseball games are held. Scope, Chrysler Hall, Addicts Theater, Wells Theater, like most of the bigger venues in Norfolk. And I'm in operations, so I don't do anything directly as far as like booking the talent, but I help set all the stuff up. I lead the teams. I'll do the conversions from hockey to blah, blah, blah. So just putting myself in positions to do everything I've been doing on a higher level. Like not necessarily having to put all of my money into it either, just being at a position where I can do not even stuff for myself, but present opportunities, give these resources out to our community as well too. Like a lot of people don't know that you can use the scope space rather easily, or that there's tons of resources that you can get from the city. It's literally just a piece of paper that takes 5 minutes to fill out, and they got showmobiles, portable stages, generators, tents, like all different types of stuff.
How much are the portable stages?
Depending on what you're trying to do, sometimes they'll let you just use it. Like R&B Block Party that was just at the Scope. They get a lot of shit for free, like staging and stuff like that. Like because they have a good idea and because they bring something good to the Scope in the area as a whole, there's a lot of stuff they get for free. Yeah,
I feel like I was talking about that with somebody. There's a bunch of resources that the city will provide, but it's like I feel like they don't do as good a job as they can in marketing it, because like people just don't know about it. There's just I forgot what it's called now, but there's this building in downtown Newport News that they have like a bunch of professional video equipment, like a bunch of different creation stuff that you can just go there and use for free. I'm like, but why don't more people know about this?
If I'm honest with you, like I agree that it could be advertised differently. I don't want to say better necessarily, because
you don't want everybody to know about it?
No. For those that want the information, it's available. That's what I was saying as far as like, for those that are interested in doing events and stuff, like don't necessarily think about it going that easy route. Like it's going to be going and getting some no's sometimes, but it's all about having a conversation. Like a lot of these people will tell you these answers if you just go and talk to them. So that first year I went and got a lot of no's from the city. I still got, no, you can't do this, but this is how you could do what you want to do, if this is what you want to do. And go about it that way, made some connections with those people, and then that's how I got to do St. Kinlaws Day as long as I did, and not have to pay quite as many fees as often, or get some people to be sponsors and stuff like that. Like, it's about playing ball in some instances, and I think a lot of us, and sometimes we just want to do shit the way that we want to do it, and we want it our own way, and I respect that. I get the hustle. But there's hundreds of thousands of dollars that the government has that they give to people to do some of these things, or to start their own business, or to start their own nonprofit. So like, why not play ball a little bit? You
saw the creative bill they're trying to pass right now?
Oh yeah. Shout out to Jackie Glass.
Bro, we have Jackie Glass and Keenly coming on the show to talk more about that.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's going to be a big change if that gets passed.
If it does, yes.
I feel like it'll help a lot of people.
It will, and I mean, there's a lot of other instances where money is being subsidized to businesses or people that don't necessarily need it. So if we were able to put it into the hands of those that could use those resources so that they could build some type of continuity, some type of, longevity for themselves, whether it is their own business or investing into somebody else that they know, that's like, it would go a long way. So shout out to Jackie and all of those all the people that have gone up to Capitol Hill. I haven't made it out yet, but the next session I hope to be there.
I haven't made it out. I made a post. I'm trying to do what I can.
It's important, man. Regardless, like, are you talking about it right now? So
yeah.
that's still valid.
Okay, so you're talking about you working for the city, you do Unreliable radio. I wanted to ask you also about this retreat you guys did. You had like a bunch of artists and creatives. I forgot where you guys went. You could tell us, but you guys like had like a beach house somewhere, and you guys, I think you were there for like a week, and we're just creating shit. Like, how was that?
Yeah, we've done it twice now, and it's something that is also something that I plan to do again. But it was just a interesting time, man. It was COVID, so you couldn't go outside per se, so not really seeing people that I'm collaborating with or want to DJ with and stuff like that, want to hang out with in general. And just happened to find a really good price on a 23-bedroom beach house in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, and was able to convince, it was like almost 50 of us, was able to convince like 40-something people to come out and spend a week and try to create something out of it. And the ultimate goal initially, we didn't necessarily think it out or plan it out properly. We didn't think about the scale of really what we were doing, but the goal was to like film it and to come out of it with like a documentary basically, or all these sets of all these different people performing. And shout out Zay, boy Zay.
Xavier?
Was doing Indigo or does Indigo. He has that crazy ass projector, so he did all these set designs, and Dante edited it, Frankie edited it, but we were kind of all over the place. We were enjoying ourselves, but we were still trying to create. So the video came out, and it's dope. I think it's a piece of art. I still watch it, but it was supposed to be something that was used to convince more people to want to come,
to the next one.
Yeah, but it was a great time. We got to see some crazy stuff come out of it. I feel like a lot of people had batteries in their backs both times and decided to go like even harder than they were going before they went, and it was a great time, man. It was a long week, but it was a great time.
What are some things you think you want either do differently or you want to add on to the next one?
I've been asking
more structure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been asking people. The second one definitely had a little bit more structure. It was just less of us, which was also kind of cool. Like, it was dope the first time, but it was a lot. And then also, at the end of the day, I'm thinking I'm responsible for all these people too. I make sure none of these people get too crazy. More than anything, I would like to have more outside, I guess, programming as well too. So I kind of just. I showed some people like intro to DJing. Shout out to Frankie who came, and we would do like beat making classes. And but I wanted to do a little bit more like even showing people how they can introductory to like how you can start your own website. People showing how you can like make clothes, like just a lot of different facets of creativity that people could try that they may not have normally had the resources to. But yeah, as a DJ, I would love to do like a DJ camp like that, straight up.
That's fire.
Yeah.
You touching on it put a battery in people's back.
Yeah, I
feel like that's one of the most important things. Like if we're doing like an event or if we're doing some type of thing, sometimes even if it's like more important than making like a little bit of money off that. That's like something that just motivates you to go harder, inspires you to keep going. And I feel like that's what we can all do for each other in the area.
Oh,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not worldwide yet. We're not reaching fucking millions of people, but we can get to there one day. But it's like the only way that's going to happen is if we keep going. So that happens with appreciating small wins, building on what you've done, being inspired by seeing other people win, being motivated, and that's just something we can all do for each other.
Yeah, and also just not being afraid to collaborate. And sometimes to collaborate doesn't necessarily mean that like there's something that you're operating with some intention of what you're getting out of it, but like in a lot of instances we know who each other are, and just don't be afraid to acknowledge each other, but also collaborate. Just not everybody that came to the beach house was I a friend that I know before, but I didn't hesitate to invite, just put it out there to anybody. And there were some people I personally invited to that I thought that should be there. So, yeah, I mean, it's something I feel like it said a lot. But yeah, just we could all come together a little bit more. But we are not. Nobody is too big. We're gonna see a lot of change in this next few 2 or 3 years, though, I think, especially with what's going on at the oceanfront.
I think by the end of this year, bro.
Yeah,
we're gonna start seeing how we see Shaboozey, Tommy Richmond. That's the Woodbridge area.
Well, when I'm saying 2, 3, I'm saying just like even more national artists wanting to come to this area and be a part of what's going on already. Like I think that you will see more artists from this area starting to be in those bigger rooms. Some of them already are. We just aren't hearing about it, So I think that, if we do continue to move at this pace and we're not afraid to continue to collaborate in some instances, it's nothing. It's so much better than it was 10 years, 12 years ago when I first was trying to get involved in this creative scene. It's so different. So yeah, sky's the limit.
Yeah, I can definitely see a lot of people out here blowing up. And as long as we all stay willing to help the rest of us, I can see our scene really thriving. Now, if everybody starts blowing up and leaving the city and it's like, fuck everybody, that might change things, but
that's what always fucks it up. But yeah, don't be afraid to share the resources. Shout out to those that have like made it or gotten into those rooms I'm mentioning and haven't been afraid to mention, those other people that they know about, because you never, like I said, you never know how meeting someone and interacting with them in a good way may interpolate into something else for you. But more than anything, like, it's so much talent here that don't be stingy. Like, share the resources.
So much talent, share the resources. That's what I like about this area. I feel like we're not jaded yet. And I just don't want to see us get to that level where we become jaded and it's like, now we're just like everybody else. That's what makes us special. We are genuine people. We're like hungry. We haven't got there yet. Yeah. And that's what makes us special. Like, let's try to keep that energy.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes people will confuse like the fact that you only, see some people in certain instances or whatever, like as a bad thing. But I think it's great that you continue to see some of these people in some of these rooms, and it makes you feel like a part of a community. But, it's definitely important to understand the value of those relationships and make sure that you are making those relationships for the right reason. And that's with everything.
Hell yeah. Well, look, I appreciate you, bro. Is there anything else you want to touch on? Anything else you want to lead the people with?
Yeah, man. I know I was up here rambling a bit and talking with my hands, but
no, this is perfect.
More than anything, just like trust in yourself. I took a hiatus on a couple things from doing too much or even too little. Just make sure you take care of yourself, trust in yourself, and I already said put good energy out there, but operate with good intentions for yourself. I think that's super important. So, thank you for having me up here, bro.
Hell yeah. This was like a long time in making. I guess we met in 2018.
Yeah, man. It's like 20. Hey, I gotta ask. I'm gonna have to ask Boris when did he want to do that show? But yeah, it's been a while.
All bros links will be in the description. Stay tuned for Unreliable Radios on the way.
Yes, very, very soon.
If you want to book, bro, to DJ somewhere, he's available to
at Scholaship. Just no R's, no R in that.
Hell yeah. Thank you, bro. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll see y'all soon.
Fuck yeah, Peace. Appreciate it. Fuck it. Salute the sexy red.
Oh yeah, I didn't even show the shirt.
Bow.
But she said, I'm tatted up. I look just like a fucking Mexican. When she say on that shit, come on. We go see y'all, man.